For people who have not met you yet, tell us a little bit about who you are and the center you're working with.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me, Forrest. I appreciate it. Currently, I'm with the Buffalo Lanes, and I say currently, which is funny because I've been with them for this will be my 25th year. When I started with Buffalo Lanes, I guess I was in high school. I was 16, going on 17. I had been doing some side work with my dad in construction, but my mom said, you need to get a job that you could do while you're in school. And bowling wasn't the answer because I love bowling. I had actually never touched a bowling ball before. I remember when I was little, we grew up in Los Angeles. My mom bowled at the Gable House, but I never bowled. I remember playing the pinball machines. I remember being in the daycare with some of the other kids while the other moms were bowling. But it was really just a chance happening. My mom, she worked with someone, her husband was the general manager at Buffalo Lanes Cary, and they were just getting ready to open, really December of 98. And she said, why don't you go in? It's really close to where you're going to school. It's simple. You're talking to people. And I was actually really shy at the time. So I think my mom was pushing me to do something that maybe would open me up a little bit more. And yeah, I got the job as essentially a front desk help and hosting kids' birthday parties. And then it just exploded from there.
Yeah. And now here you are. You said 25 years later.
Who would ever thought that the first job was going to be probably the last job?
Right. And so you said you started at the front counter and now you're the GM at Buffalo.
Yeah, I was working the front desk. I remember our general manager at the time, I think, was a little overwhelmed with how many parties we were having booked on the weekends. So he had basically 2 girls hired to host parties, and it was not even close to enough. So I remember him asking me, he said, hey, would you like to work with Lisa for a little bit and she'll show you how to do birthday parties? And I said, sure, why not? And then we basically went 3-4 weekends in. And I remember I asked him, I said, are you looking for someone to do parties? And he said, we're doing such a good job. Why don't you just continue hosting the parties on the weekends? So we did it. So I did the front desk, I did the birthday parties. Then, I don't know, you get hungry to learn more. So I remember working in the snack bar for a while. And back then we had Perky's Pizza and Sully's Subs. So we were making subs and Perky's Pizza. That was fun. Yeah. And he was still working at the front desk at the time. And then somewhere along the line, we needed help in the back. And our head mechanic needed help with some preventive maintenance and just catching calls on the weekend. And I thought, oh, that'd be fun. Let's try that too. Did my little stint for a couple of years as a mechanic. Not really. Let's not say mechanic. Let's say pin chaser.
Maybe. Pin chaser.
Yeah. Pin chaser. Not mechanic probably is overselling it a little bit.
Sure.
And then when I left the back end, there was a position that opened up for management. So I jumped in management, and then from there on worked with the youth bowlers, the league coordinator for a while, bowling business. You do a little bit of everything, marketing. And then they asked me in 2013 if I would come. They had just bought this location here in Mebane, and they had asked me if I'd be interested in essentially coming on board as the GM here in Mebane.
Okay.
So that was 2013. And then a lot of stuff happened in between. Then we had a pandemic. And then basically December of last year, I took over as proprietor here at Buffalo Lanes in Mebane.
Wow. Okay. So you purchased it.
Yeah. That was a goal. That was always a goal.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily a goal coming out of a pandemic before there might be a recession and whatever, but it was something we were working towards. And then when the pandemic hit, the Buffalo brothers were sitting down and they said, it might be a good reset point, might be a good point to get in. And so that's what we worked towards, and it happened in 21. So a couple more great years here. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, did you like this video? Great. We make 5 of them a week. Subscribe to get more and to keep learning about what's working in the bowling industry. I'll talk to you then.